Hello, and welcome to a series by The Tavern with Sigma and Company. I'm your dungeon master and host, Sigma, and this is episode 0 of Oblivion, a Star Wars story. Before we roll into the action, and I give you, dear listener, what is essentially a prologue to the campaign, I want to make a few things clear. This is a fan project by myself and my players. It is not intended for monetization, but for sharing the passion that is Star Wars. All copyrights and trademarks to their respective owners are intended. Disney, please don't sue us. Credit to Michael Sands and Evil Hat Productions for creating the system we are using, Monster of the Week. Check the description below to find a link to their webpage. Number 3. We are operating within a time period of the galaxy far, far away that has a lot of lore from legends, but not a lot of official canonical lore. That being said, we will be using legends as a base, and I have taken steps to make sure any canonical characters that make an appearance aren't supposed to be somewhere else. Lastly, I have no control over the mouths of my players, so vulgarity and scatological terms may be used throughout, and the recommended listening age for this particular series is 18 and older. Listener discretion is advised. That being said, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. There was a planet in a system in the outer rim reaches of a galaxy. This planet was known as Janundal. The year is 13 BBY. That's 13 years before Luke Skywalker would blow up the first Death Star with his X-Wing, and about 2 years after the end of the Clone Wars and the execution of Order 66. At this time, the Empire was reaching its apex, enslaving multiple systems at a time, bending them to their will. Janundal would be one such system, and it would also be one of the many where the citizens would decide that enough was enough and they would begin to fight back. This series follows the trail of one such team of rebels as they work to overthrow the oppressive reach of the Empire. It is about midday in the city of Falcon, the capital city of Janundal, on a lonely street occupied by maybe 2 or 3 bystanders, is a bar. This bar is, just like all others in the spaceport sector of the city, populated by scum, villainy, and all types of unseemly characters. It is here that we watch as an unlikely crew forms. We see a B-1 battle droid escorted by a Jawa, or is it the other way around? Walk into the bar, and the bartender yells at them, saying that droids are not allowed in this establishment. The Jawa proceeds to shout something in its native language and bring the droid in anyways. A few moments later, we see the massive frame of a Herdlick enter the bar from a different doorway and make his way to the same table that the Jawa and the battle droid are now seated at. Later on, as the evening draws in, we see a Twi'lek, followed by a young girl, enter the bar. They approach the counter, ask for a table, and they are directed to the same table that the Herjlik, the battle droid, and the Jawa are all sitting at. A nervous-looking Zabrak also enters the bar from one of the seedier doorways from a side alleyway and makes his way to the table. And then lastly, a stormtrooper appearing to be off duty makes his way through the tavern. However, something is not right. He's wearing a cloak hiding his armor, unusual for a stormtrooper. But some who are sharp see clear as day the white plates underneath the large brown cloak as he sits down, completing a party of 7. The 7 people, all drawn together by more or less the same forces, all turn their attention to the center of the table. A voice makes itself known.
I imagine you are wondering why you have all been called here today.
The voice says, as an image appears on the hollow screen in front of them. It is an interesting image with a couple of squiggly lines and a couple of diamonds. It is the symbol as rebel agents, or current rebel agents, knew as Fulcrum.
You have all been summoned here today because the Empire has overstepped its boundaries one too many times. There are reports of people vanishing from their homes, not just off of the streets. The Empire is taking people, and this is something that cannot be allowed. This is something that must be stopped. There is no telling what they are doing to them. However, we know this much. We cannot do it without people like you. People who have a vendetta against the Empire and are willing to do something about it. So what do you say? Are you in?
Slowly, each one of the 7 figures around the table nods, and then there's a commotion by the front door as a squad of stormtroopers performing their evening inspection enters. Quickly, all 7 people rise from the table and exit various routes. It is here that our story picks up. It is here that we see the formation of what will eventually be known as Fireteam Oblivion, the adventurers of Janundal. What will befall them? Who knows? Tune in to Oblivion, a Star Wars story, to find out. May the Force be with you, always.